Today we are going to talk about fossils. In this lesson, you will, number 1, learn what fossils are. Number 2, study fossils from a well-known excavation site. Number 3, make predictions based on fossil evidence. And number 4, you probably will have more questions to explore later. So, of course, the first question is, what are fossils? Fossils are the remains or traces of once living organisms. They can be mineralized bone or plant parts, impressions, or even footprints. So here's some mineralized bone and here's some plant parts. These are swimming traces on a lake bottom left by a fish. All of these are fossils. Fossils are found all over the world. These remains and traces give us a glimpse into a prehistoric, long ago past. Scientists study these fossils to learn about our past, make connections to our present, and even to predict our future. So today we're going to examine a special case in Fossil Butte, Wyoming, at Fossil Butte National Monument. This is what the area around Fossil Butte, Wyoming looks like in present times. Here are a couple more pictures as well. What type of climate and weather patterns do you think are normal here? What plants and animals would you expect to be living in this area today? Yes, this climate has cold winters and hot summers. Here is a food web from the Fisheries and Wildlife Studies of the United States. Notice it starts with the plants as the sagebrush and then goes to slightly larger animals and then, of course, into some of the more carnivore type animals that eat some of these animals. But fossil records show that the area around Fossil Butte looked different long ago. Scientists have found an abundance of fossils through careful excavation of this area. Over the next few slides, you will see some of the samples of fossils that have been discovered there. As you examine the fossils, try to visualize what this may have looked like millions of years ago. Here are some of the plant fossils that have been found near there. Here are some fossils for flowers, seeds, and fruit. Notice how well preserved they are. Here are some reptile specimens. A snake, a turtle, a caiman, which is a small version of a modern-day alligator, and a type of lizard. Here are some mammals that lived during this time. A proterohippus, which is an early horse, which is about the size of a small dog, a bat, an unidentified mammal, and another different unidentified mammal. Here are some various invertebrates also found in fossils. A dragonfly, several species of shrimp, and some different clams and snails. These are a few different bird fossils that have been found there. Lastly, there is an abundance of fish fossils found in this area. Notice how well preserved some of them are. You can see the scales on them, the skin, and some of those layers. Here's a stingray even. Here's one with another fish caught in its mouth. As you may have concluded, Fossil Butte was a very different place than it is today. By examining the fossil records, scientists have concluded that this area was covered by a large, shallow, warm, freshwater sea that they nicknamed Fossil Lake. It was surrounded by a lush, tropical forest. Based on the plant life, paleobotanists believe the climate is more similar to present-day Florida. Yet even with making those conclusions, scientists still have many questions regarding some of the fossils. For example, this is a mass mortality of Nidia fish. They range from about 1 inch long to 3 inches long. And this is a mystery. What could have caused so many fish to die at one time and be fossilized together? Notice here, more of these Nidia fish, dying all at the same time and being preserved in the same fossil layer. Why might this have happened? Scientists have a couple of theories about what may have happened to these fish. Reasons for such mass mortalities could include any number of factors, but the two most frequently used theories for Fossil Lake include sudden change in temperature or water chemistry. Reasons for mass mortalities in Fossil Lake probably varied, depending on the time of year, the part of the lake in which they occurred, or even long-term weather trends such as extended drought or extensive rainfall and flooding. Studies of modern lakes can be a help in determining possible causal factors. For example, modern herring, such as the alewives in Lake Michigan, frequently have mass die-offs in midsummer. These mass mortalities can involve hundreds of thousands of fish and usually occur in response to sudden temperature changes near shore. It is reasonable to conclude that the subtropical summer sun created temperature in parts of Fossil Lake that would have been lethal to the schools of Nydia fish, much like the alewives of Lake Michigan. So you can see scientists compare modern-day events and use that to predict past events and use it with the fossil records. Paleontologists are still actively digging in this area around Fossil Butte, Wyoming. The fossils have given us clues into the past, but we may never know exactly what this may have looked like. In this lesson about fossils, you have learned what fossils are, studied fossils from a well-known excavation site, made predictions based on fossil evidence, and you may still have even more questions. I would like to thank the Fossil Butte National Monument Museum for the tour and informative displays. Thank you to the Mandrell family for posing and making the visit enjoyable. There are some other related links to Fossil Butte National Monument. There's, of course, the website provided by the National Park Service, and then the National Park Service actually has a video relating to this very topic.